Okay, good morning. So thank you so much for showing up this morning. We have a slightly new setup here, and just bear with me as we get used to it. So I wanted to bring up a couple of opportunities to practice together this fall. This fall, Breathe Together Yoga, all of our focus will be on well-being, on cultivating and sustaining well-being because, well, I probably don't need to tell you why, do I? It's going to be quite an autumn, and we will be doing whatever we can by providing a challenge on Instagram by all of our teachers who will be sharing how they care for themselves and they're caring for other people. The challenge is called Radical Care, so I hope you join us for that. And as we work on cultivating and sustaining well-being, I will be running a mentorship program starting in September, and you can find all the information on Breathe Together, but it's dedicated to students who have already taken a 200-hour training and they're developing themselves and they want a little bit of friendship and mentorship and guidance in the next steps on their path in their practice, in their teaching practice, and in their development of what it means to be a yoga teacher. So there's that, and then we're running a 200-hour training, which is filling up. And yes, it will be on Zoom, and it will be fantastic with Noelle Clark, and that information is also available on the site. So I wanted to let you know all of those things before we start this morning. So I just got back from being in Lake Tahoe for a few days with my family, just taking a break and seeing different scenery, trees and mountains, and hiking with a friend. And it was beautiful. And I realized once again how when we step out of our normal day-to-day, our lens widens and in such a way that we didn't even realize that it had shrunk. So one of the great values of placing ourselves in a new place. So I want to talk a little bit this morning about patience, because what I saw when I was in my travel mode this week was how in my own life I'm spending a lot of time considering different scenarios for the future. And many of us probably recognize this tendency right now. And we'll look at the value and the role of patience as a practice, and it's one of the foundational practices as we move today. Once again, having the focus be more on the exploration rather than the destination, right? Because I know for myself, I have in my mind this destination, and the destination is that my studio is open again. And it is very easy to get really caught up on that destination instead of just being with where we are right now. So with that, I wanted to begin with this lovely passage. And it comes from Zorba the Greek. And here we go. I hope you're sitting comfortably. I remember one morning when I discovered a cocoon in the bark of a tree just as the butterfly was making a hole in its case and preparing to come out. I waited a while, but it was too long appearing, and I was impatient. I bent over and breathed on it to warm it. I warmed it as quickly as I could, and the miracle began to happen before my eyes, faster than life. The case opened. The butterfly started slowly crawling out, and I shall never forget my horror when I saw how its wings were folded back and crumpled. The wretched butterfly tried with its whole trembling body to unfold them. Bending over it, I tried to help it with my breath. In vain. It needed to be hatched out patiently, and the unfolding of the wings needed to be a gradual process in the sun. Now it was too late. My breath had forced the butterfly to appear, all crumbled before its time. It struggled desperately, and a few seconds later died in the palm of my hand. Yeah? Sound familiar? All right, so in that spirit, let's move with the quality of deep exploration, shall we? So let's come down onto our back, please. Just lying back completely. And making ourselves comfortable. And letting the back of the shoulders just release downward. Feeling in to this Saturday morning. If you live in the area, you know it's going to be a hot one. So nice to move early this morning. So let's draw one knee. The right knee in toward the chest. Interlace your fingers around your shin and gradually draw the thigh down toward the rib cage a little bit. Just as it slides down the outside of the rib cage. Letting the shoulders sink back and feel into what this is like with the left heel extending. Inhale. Exhale, the right leg draws down and the left leg draws in. And we just ease in. Easing into the moment. Extend through your right leg. And then returning the left leg. And this time the right leg comes back up, and we see without using the arms, can we draw the right thigh toward the right rib cage, almost like a half happy baby, but without the help of the hands. So maybe the sole of the foot turns up, and then releasing back down. You can feel that the navel is drawn into the spine as you bring your left leg up, drawing the inner thigh in toward the left ribs. See if that's possible. Extending through the right heel, and then releasing the left leg down. Good. Now draw navel to spine, and let's bring knees into chest and wrap the arms around the legs. And direct your breath to the lumbar spine, lower back. And now let's take a happy baby, drawing the hands to the outside of the feet and inviting the thighs downward. Spread your breath across your collarbone area. Good, and then cross your ankles. And we'll roll a few times here. Exhaling up, inhale back, exhale forward, inhale, exhale, good, one more, inhale back, exhale forward, hands to the ground, lift your hips up, walk your legs back, good, so we're now hands and knees, and we'll begin with a little cat-cow, but let's initiate this from the tailbone, okay? So the movement will go like this. We will curl under tailbone, exhaling the breath, rounding the spine, and then have the tailbone begin to unfurl, inhaling, opening. Exhaling. Curling tailbone like we're furling and unfurling, inhaling. And exhaling. And good. All the way into the neck. Inhale, open. And exhaling. Good. Return to neutral spine, please. And hands are forward now. Fingers are wide. Tuck your toes under. Let's just walk back and forth a little bit. Exploring what it feels like on either leg right now. Back and forth. And then settle into your downward facing dog. Drawing the hips up and back behind you. Will you exhale your breath completely? And then draw your navel to your spine. Keep the breath out. Then relax the belly. Inhale. Exhale completely. Breath all the way out. Keep the breath out. Navel to spine. Hollow out the belly. Relax the belly. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Come up high onto the balls of the feet and then bend your knees. Look past your hands and step forward between your hands. Inhale, we lengthen. Lengthening the spine. Exhale, folding forward. And again, inhale, lengthening. Draw your hips way back behind you. Exhale, fold forward. And one more time. Inhale. Exhale, fold. And then separate your feet so they're hip width apart, please. Bend your knees. Rest your rib cage down on the front of your thighs. And let's take the arms behind the back, interlace your fingers and draw your shoulder blades together. Inhale. Exhale, fold, fold, fold. Drawing the blades together, yes. Get a few deep breaths just to flush out the body. Lifting the arms away from the body. Some of you might be able to straighten your legs here, but let's keep the rib cage right up against the thighs. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Release your hands now. Back down to the ground. Walk your legs back behind you so you're in plank pose. Inhale. Exhale, knees down, and then slowly lower your torso to the floor. Okay, so far so good. Just resting on a cheek for a moment. And then let's take the left knee and bend the left knee and draw the left knee toward the armpit any amount. And then slowly take the leg back behind you. And we'll do that 3 more times. Inhale up. Exhale slowly back. Inhaling. Exhaling. And one more time. We want to give our body the best chance for the opening. So yes, indeed, we're going slowly. We take the right knee now all the way up as close to the elbow as possible and exhale right back down. And you're really dragging the leg along the floor. Inhale up. Exhale back down. Inhale. Exhale. And we're listening inside the hip, the knee. What does it do when we move in this way? Okay, wonderful. So take the hands now under the shoulders. Draw back through puppy pose. Let the belly make contact with the thighs. Extend your arms forward. And if you are in this time zone, probably you have not eaten. So here, if you've eaten a lot, skip this. We'll inhale. Exhale again, all the way. Draw the navel to the spine. Relax the belly, and then again, inhale. You'll feel the pelvis move back behind you. Exhale completely. Draw navel to spine. Relax belly. Inhale. Exhale. Tuck toes under now. Downward facing dog. And settle into your downward dog. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, look past your hands, step or float forward between your hands. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, release your hands at your heart, Anjali Mudra. Great. All right, so let's begin with a little cultivation of the light of awareness. May we be infused with the memory, with the experience of not being this tiny little personality. May the light of awareness wash over us. Join me if you wish. Om Bhurrbhuva Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonat Prachodayat. Good, let's take the arms all the way up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, palms down, step back, and either lower down with knees and torso down or slowly lower into low plank. Then inhale, cobra or upward dog if you know it. And exhale, right over the toes, downward dog. Now we'll send the right leg up and back behind us. The hips are square. The left kneecap is lifted. We reach back through the ball of the right foot. Inhale. Exhale. Draw the thigh into the right rib cage. Okay, so it's a little bit off to the right. And then can you place the right foot down on the outside of the right hand? We just wanted to see how that went. In the name of exploration, we take the right leg back, downward dog. And the left leg goes up, hips are square. You can come up onto the ball of the right foot. Reach through all the way, feel the extension all the way through the left leg. Inhale, exhale. This time, left leg, the thigh is just to the outside of the rib cage. And then the foot lands lightly just to the left of the left hand. Okay, that might have been really challenging. We might need to drag that leg. Let's see what happens. Take it back and send your right leg up. And notice how much momentum you're using here. Let's try to reduce the momentum. We inhale, come up onto the ball of the foot, thigh to outside, foot lands lightly on the outside of the hand. Good, this time just let the hips drop a little bit. Good, into the left hip flexors we go. Yes, okay, lift the hips back up and send the right leg back. Take the left leg up and back, hips are square. Inhale, exhale, go slowly, thigh to rib cage. Foot lands on the outside of the left hand, and then sinking the hips downward. Push back through your right heel. Really curious about this experience. What's this like? Then inhale, exhale, send the left leg back. Settle into your dog.
Drawing your pelvis up, sit bones up. Inhale, exhale, bend your knees, look past your hands, and step or float forward between your hands. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we fold. Let's do that again. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Palms touch at the top. Stretch upward, front of body and back body. And then exhale, folding forward. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, palms down, step or float back and lower through the way that you do. Inhaling, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, back over the toes. Now, yes, indeed, we'll take the right leg up and we'll stack the hips. Let's bend the right knee. Can you feel your right hip stacked over your left hip? Is your left kneecap lifted? And then would you install a pen, an invisible pen at your right kneecap, and begin to circle the right leg. Just noticing where gravity wants to slow the whole process down. Way out to the side and up. And go slow enough to feel. Yep, I think that's a big, slow enough to feel, a big issue for many of us who have lived in a fast world. Send the right leg up and back, and then right thigh to rib cage, foot lands between the hands, and let's pivot the left heel to the ground. Okay, with me so far? Rise up to warrior two. First, let's take the hands to the hips, sinking in. So if we go slow enough to feel, we might feel. So if we go fast, well, we won't have to feel, will we? Except that it catches up. All right, now take the arms wide. Drawing the triceps up, extend through your arms. And let's just straighten the right leg and then bend. And feel what it's like at the pelvic floor, the groin, the adductors. Coordinating your breath with the movement the way that you do. And this time when you come up, go ahead, interlace your fingers behind your back, open the shoulders, then bend the right knee. Draw navel to spine, inhale. Exhale, folding forward so your right rib cage comes right to the inner right thigh. And coax your right sit bone toward your left sit bone as you look back at the sole of your left foot. The four corners press. The neck hangs. Extend up and out through the arms, drawing the blades together. And zip up the inside of your left leg. Okay, wonderful. Let's take the hands now to the floor. Send the right leg back behind you into plank. Lower through the way that you do. If you're coming in through cobra, keep the pressure off the arms as much as possible. Have this be a spinal opening. Exhale, and we find our way back to downward dog. Feeling steady and present in this shape. Now send the left leg up and stack your hips, reach up, and then bend your left knee and treat the left knee like a pen and begin to draw the best circle that you know how to draw. Going slow enough to feel. Feeling where it's a circle, and where it's not a circle at all. Good, one more time, stacking, reaching up, and then draw the thigh in close, land your foot between your hands, the right heel pivots. Slowly we rise up. I miss you. Warrior two, settling in, opening the hips out. Good, feel that you're even through the hips and your spine is vertical, and then send your arms outward. Yeah, playing with how much opening can we get. Have we locked through the back knee? See if you can keep that supple. And then straighten the left leg. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Good, one more time. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And then come back up. Interlace your fingers the other way. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, we begin to fold forward over that left leg. Rooting into the right sole and asking the left sit bone to gently move toward right sit bone. Lifting up out of the arms. Breathing. Good, this is big. We inhale, exhale, hands to the ground. Sweep the left leg back behind, slowly lower down the way that you do. Inhale, we open. Exhale, back. Downward dog. Good. Inhale through the nose. Exhale completely through the mouth. And again, inhale. Exhale. And one more. Good. Now let's sweep the right leg up and back behind us. And then thigh to rib cage. Foot lands lightly between the hands. We turn and we pivot so that our feet are now parallel with one another. Let's take the hands under the shoulders. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward, drawing the top of the head toward the floor. And walk your hands back behind you such that the palms are down on the ground and your arms are parallel with each other. Yeah. If the top of your head is touching the floor, walk your feet in just a little bit. And then bend your knees here and push through your heels into the ground. You can take the toes off as well. So you bend the knees, you push, and then you straighten the legs any amount. And many of us will have the knees bent. Let's do it again. Straightening the legs and then bending the knees. Just creating a little bit more space in there. Good, looking for space wherever we can find it. And then maybe we walk the hands through the legs so that the fingertips are on the ground. Okay? Fingertips are on the ground and we draw the top of the head to the ground. Good, check out what it feels like to have the knees bent. And that may be the option that's available to us. Good, and then slowly inhale, come forward, and exhale. Let's turn the right foot and pivot your left, the sole of your left foot, downward. We've sort of been here before, right? It's similar. Sink. Yeah, sink some more. Good, sink some more. Now we'll take the right arm underneath the right leg. And maybe we'll fly the arms back behind us. And when we do this, we're coaxing the hips. You can feel how your pelvis is to the right. Coax the hips to midline. Maybe take the arms back. And maybe the hands reach back. And we can straighten and bend here just a little bit. But you know, this is where the navel to the spine is so helpful because it helps to create a center while we're moving. Just a little motion. All right, enough of that. Hands to the ground. Let's come around to the other side. Root the right heel a lot. Bend your left knee. Tuck your torso right up against the inner left leg. Come down low enough so you can slide your left arm in underneath. Right arm is underneath too. Good, sink in. And then play with, well, what if I take my hands off? Coax the left hip toward midline. And maybe reach back. You might find your hands. Let head and neck go. So it could be the arms are here because you're not binding. In any case, bend the left knee and then straighten just a little bit. It's not a big movement. We're just very curious about what's going on in there. What is here? All right, last one. And then we unwind that, pivot your feet, bring the hands now to the floor in front of you. Take the right leg back, lower down slowly, and let's rest on a cheek. Feeling into the body now. Watching the breath. Feeling the subtle movement of the abdomen into the ground on the inhale. And how the floor ends up supporting a good deep exhalation, right? Yes. All right. So let's roll onto the right side. And for our purposes, let's bend the right knee so that we're stable here. And we'll take the left leg up, any amount. And we're pushing the sole of the left foot toward the sky. And we're trying not to use the arms whatsoever. As we bring the left leg over the torso any amount, we watch to see what do we need to do in the left sit bone. What I'm doing is I'm taking my lower pelvis away from me, away from my face, as I extend the left leg, however much, up toward the ceiling. Some of us might come over the torso just a little bit. Good, then this last part, we can take the hand, the arm to the leg and help. But you can feel the difference between using the arms to grab the legs and doing the work with the legs. Okay, slowly release that. I want to stay with you, so I'm going to switch sides here. And then we're now down onto the outside of the left side of the body. Left knee's bent a little bit. Send the right leg up. So we treat it like an independent agent. And as the leg moves up and potentially this way, the sit bone moves that way. So we're deepening the hip crease here. Can we feel that action? Really pretty strong. If you draw the navel to the spine again, you're going to get the abdominal muscles to help you. Yep. How much can be done just with the leg? And then right at the end of it, the hand can help just a little bit. It's more interesting though if the hands don't help. You see how you gotta use the lower body. All right, just releasing. And let's lie back onto the back. Just checking in. Pause, check in, feel. Good. Holding our horses. You know, remember that phrase? Did your mom tell you to hold your horses a lot? My mom did. Patience grasshopper is another way of saying hold your horses. So now let's take the right leg up into the thigh, and we'll do somewhat the same maneuver where we take the right leg all the way out now to the side without using the arms. Extend through your left leg, don't forget that part. Notice, where does the right leg go on its own? And then lift your head off the ground, lift your neck off the ground, as many vertebrae off the ground as you can, and send the arms forward. Like you're reaching for your left foot, but you haven't lost your right leg. Some of you, the hamstrings are going to be speaking right now. They're going to be talking. The knee bend is totally fine. And then release, come back down, right leg long. Begin the journey of the left leg. It comes up. Keep your extension through your right leg. And then where will it go on its own? Good. Left knee could be bent here. We could be doing a lot of work in the adductors. All right, so once you've got this full extension that feels pretty rooted and grounded, you may feel like your right hip has come off. You can drop it downward. Then reach the arms toward the right foot. Draw navel to spine. Good, lots of room here. Navel to spine. And then release and let that go. Okay, was that good for you? I hope that was good for you. So this time we bring both knees in. Happy baby. But draw the thighs toward the ribs. Don't grab the feet right away. Okay, now grab the feet. Feel your tailbone drop toward the ground as much as you can. And then potentially see how much straightening of the legs happens. May not be very much at all. Maybe just a little back and forth here. Watching the inner mechanics of dropping the tailbone, extending the legs however much. And then do that. See how much you can do that without the hands. Release the hands and extend, drawing the front of the thighs toward the ribs. Any amount. And once again, remembering the release destination clause. Should have been put on our birth certificate. And then soles of the feet come together. We take the hands around the feet and slowly draw the feet toward the chest as the legs seem to unfurl to the sides. Feel how the lumbar spine is now against the ground. Release the shoulders. And as we like to say in yoga, open the feet like a book. So maybe the outside of the feet press in toward each other. And again, draw the feet toward the chest and then back down. And toward the chest and back down. And we're just exploring this movement. Where is it smooth? And then where is it challenging? We notice how left to our own devices, unconsciously, we'll do almost anything to avoid challenge, won't we? I know I will. So let's put it that way. Release, give yourself a hug. Draw the arms in close. Feel the breath spread along the back. Cross your ankles. And let's roll a few times. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Now the ankles are crossed. You bring the hands to the floor. Lift the hips up. Walk the legs back, lower through. Inhale, we open. Exhale back. And inhale, exhale, bend your knees, look past your hands and step forward between your hands. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, fold. Good, just pause here, feel the fold. Bend the knees if you need to, bring the belly to the top of the thighs. And let the whole body drape like a waterfall over strong legs. Even in this movement, the sit bones draw toward midline just a little bit. Well done. And then walk your feet so they're just a little wider than hip width apart. And gradually we make our way into a squat. Doing what we can to lengthen the spine so that it's vertical. Good. This is, you can place the fingertips one against one another. This is been said to be good for memory, this mudra. And now you can feel how your sit bones, feel how they can drop downward and there's absolutely no momentum, no support. Or you can scoop them in and up a little bit, and that helps to open the legs. And then just let them relax, and then scoop. You can watch to see if left and right side of the lower pelvis work together, or if that's not the case at all. Relax, and then scoop. And one more time. Okay, excellent. So take your hands to the ground. Walk your fingertips forward. Draw the pelvis back behind you. Release head and neck any amount. Sinking in here. And now grab your rib cage with your inner thighs, like you're being held in a vice. Your legs drawn in, squeeze, and then release the legs. And then again, squeeze in, and release. One more time for good measure. Squeeze, and release. Let's sit down. Slowly we make our way down. Take the legs long. So first let's bend the knees, fold the body over the thighs, and then if the torso can stay over the thighs, go ahead and extend the legs any amount outward. Keeping this connection the whole time. And then slowly rise up. So back in the old days, I love telling back in the old days stories. I don't know how this happened, but it happened in the last few years. So back in the old days, when I first learning yoga, which was a long time ago, the legs, we would just kind of fold and stretch with no engagement in the legs whatsoever. And this engagement of the legs is really quite crucial and discovered somewhere around the late 90s. So when we take these forward folds, let's be sure that the muscles of the legs are doing the work. Otherwise, well, we won't go there right now. So draw the right thigh in. So see if you can just bring it in without the arms. A couple times. Notice what happens. We keep the spine long. The right foot has got 4 inches of space between the inside of the foot and the inside of the thigh. Then help it in if you need to. Take your left fingertips back. Inhale, reach up through the right arm. And then extend forward, pushing the sole of the right foot into the ground. See how far you can go. Remember, draw the navel to your spine. And then maybe turn your palm downward so the thumb is down. Wrap the arm around the leg. You might use a strap or a towel. Take your hands. Inhale, lengthen. Drop your right sit bone toward the floor. Exhale, fold forward. Use the sole of your right foot to press. Keep the sole of the left foot engaged and open. Feel how your legs are helping to support the forward fold. Can you press your right heel into the ground anymore? And what does that do? And then take your arms wide for a moment, like cactus arms. And notice the inside of the right thigh. It's probably rolled out. Can you hug it into the rib cage and then let it go out to the side? Hug it in, let it go, and hug it in again. Good, then slowly inhale, rise back up. Exhale, right leg long. Left leg comes forward. And we'll try that just a few times. Exhale, forward. You've got this space here between the foot and the inside thigh. And one more time, drawing up. Might help the foot up. This left sit bone is going to come off the ground. That's okay. But we take the arms forward, reaching. Navel to spine helps the forward fold. Sole of the left foot presses. Do as much as you can with your legs first and your abdominals. Then tuck your left leg in close to your ribs. Take your arm back behind you. Thumb turns down. Continue that rotation all the way back. Reach back, grasp. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, folding forward. Feel the sole of the left foot. Feel the left sit bone attempt to drop to the ground, probably not on the ground. Breathing. Now release the arms and watch as the left leg likes to fall out to the left, and then hug it in and then take it out. And hug it in and let it release. And one more time, hugging in. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release left leg long. Lord have mercy. Okay, couple more things. I want to take care of a piece of business on our backs first. So slowly make your way down. Release thighs over the rib cage. And then extend the legs long, pushing through the balls of the feet. Remember, knees may be bent here so the thighs can set on the rib cage. And what we want to know now is, will the head lift? Can we take the arms forward? Can we place the arms on the outside of the thighs, pushing downward, and then extend through the feet? And some of us know that this looks a lot like tortoise pose, doesn't it? It looks like tortoise. There's a lot of engagement here. We just happen to be on our backs doing it. See if you can let the tailbone draw downward toward the floor. And then release all of that. Give yourself a hug. Feel the breath. All right. So we're on a forward fold journey. We slowly come up. And we have to do this slowly, and you can see that what I wanted to do here this morning is to be sure that there's so much engagement through the legs in our understanding of a posture like this. So this is where it will go. For some of us, we'll bring the soles of the feet together, knees wide, and we might try this first. And we'll simply twist, take the back of the right hand around the left thigh. So Baddha Konasana. Lengthening the spine, relaxing the shoulders, and coaxing the rib cage to the left. We don't do this variation very often, do we? Pressing sit bones into the ground equally. You may notice the right sit bone begins to float. And then turning, coming to the other side. Growing the spine in both directions. You can ask the spleen to move toward the liver. Some of that may be just our imagination. We're just asking the left organs to move to the right organs. But some of it may not be as well. Okay, so we like that variation. We could also take the soles of the feet together. You're probably saying, speak for yourself. Maybe you didn't like it so much. But in any case, go ahead, round fold forward. Try this variation. Now we breathe into the back of the lungs. So we can set the head down toward the feet or just let the head rest. And press the soles of the feet in toward each other for some engagement. So this has been an interesting challenge for me, truth. The truth of where we really are. And being able to be truthful about where we are is a beautiful thing. And often when we can't be truthful about where we are, it's because we really wish we were somewhere else. Does that do us much good? Well, likely not. So we're going to really sink into the truth of where we are physically as a way of getting to know how to do that emotionally, mentally. When we slowly rise up, now we'll take the legs long with the knees bent and we'll fold forward. Let's not use the arms. See how that is. And along this journey, if when we find the truth of where we are is, wow, I can't do this posture, then back up a step. Okay, so we're just drawing the thighs up into the ribs meet the thighs, the legs are really engaged here. We take the arms back behind us. We might interlace the fingers, drawing the blades together. And that variation may feel fantastic. A few of you may want to go on, bending the knees, folding forward, take the arms through the legs, then out and under. I lift one sit bone off so I can turn my palm up, the other sit bone off, turn the palm up. And now we're here and we can fold forward. And feel the breath move into the back. Some of you may begin to straighten the legs down over the arms, pushing out through the heels. And we are being with where we are. Aren't we all learning how to do that right now? I think we are. And we slowly find our way out of that. Inhale, coming up. Take the feet to the floor, arms out in front of us, and slowly, one vertebrae at a time, go slowly. Feel each one land. And release. All right, take the arms out like cactus, draw the knees into the chest. We move back and forth here a little bit, just opening side body. Let's catch up the rest of the fascia. The back line we have definitely lengthened this morning. Now we'll just give it a little bit of spiral line opening. Yep, moving with your breath. Keeping the blades down if possible. And then as we check in with ourselves, we're going to do a little frontal line opening to end this practice. We could either take bridge pose, we could block the bridge so that we have the support, a block underneath the tailbone. We could take wheel, or we could also take fish. And I'm going to take fish this morning. So take the arms in underneath. Let the torso rest on the arms, the palms press down. Take your legs long first. Press into the forearms. Have the scapula extend up through the heart. Open the front of the throat. Make your pelvis really heavy. And then maybe some of you will take the legs up about a foot and a half, pointing the toes. Extend the sternum away from you if you made that choice. Breathe high up into the top chest. Good, one more deep breath in. Exhale, releasing. Coming all the way down onto your back. Resting downward. Turning the palms up. Slide the blades down your back. Feel the bones of your body drop into the ground. With the eyes closed, explore the body. Is there anywhere that's still holding tension? You think about human beings, innately we are grasping creatures, hungry, grasping creatures. It's built into our nervous system. And with awareness, we allow that to soften. And we sink into the moment. Explore the breath. Allow even more to melt. Allow the surface area of the body to dissolve just a little bit. Feeling into the space in the room or wherever you are. Allow the body to release and release and release. So in the Western tradition, and there's certainly a place for this, we may be confronted by particular patterns that arise in the way we roll, like impatience or sadness or anger. And we can work to understand their origins, and there is a place for that. And we can also work to just dissolve those habits when we find them. Let them go. This passage by Andre Gide: know that joy is rarer, more difficult, and more beautiful than sadness. Once you make this all-important discovery, you must embrace joy as a moral obligation.
So we play with the potential of elevating our internal space. Maybe we're working our way up to contentment first, headed toward joy. We can use this time being to play in the playground of the self. What does it feel like to be content? What does it feel like to be patient? What does it feel like to be kind? Let's begin to deepen the breath a little bit. We look at the day ahead of us rather than what am I going to do with the day. What qualities of spirit, of my human spirit, am I going to bring to this day? We draw the knees in one at a time to the chest. We give ourselves a hug. We roll to one side, pausing here. May the merits of our practice benefit those who are suffering. And we make our way up to a seat, a comfortable seat. So fascinating to practice this way, because part of what I do is imagine you there. I imagine your responses. I imagine the way you move. So right now I'm imagining you imagining the space that you want to bring to the day. And yes, indeed, let's do this together. Bring the palms together at the heart. We'll close with one Om, inhaling, exhale, inhale. Let's bring the hands to the forehead, right thought. May we be steady. May we be present. May we be joyful. The hands come to the mouth, right speech. May our words improve upon the silence. And our hands come to our heart, right action. May we be the change that we wish to see. Namaste. So I hope you enjoy your Saturday. Make the weekend great. Do something really kind for someone else because it'll make you feel really good. Thank you to the person, and I bet you're on here this morning, who sent me the 4-leaf clover this week. That was really, really kind. I all love you all very much, and I hope to see you really soon. Take care of yourself.